The key issue to remember about launching that fresh relationship is knowledge over feelings all day long. Now, granted, feelings are important, but knowledge is king. Because with knowledge, that's how you're going to build your relationship based on what you know about the other person. That way, knowledge can verify that your feelings are correct. And if your feelings don't quite match what you know about the person, then it's time for you to do a little introspection. First, look at yourself and see why you're not seeing things as they should be seen, and then to take a better look at your relationship. Launching your relationship correctly straight from the start is going to spell the difference between that relationship blowing up on the proverbial launch pad or soaring up into the cosmos where it can actually become something that you can be proud of and happy to be in every single day. Know as much as you can about your prospective mate. Find out how they were raised. Look at how they treat their parents, for example. I guarantee you that if they treat their parents like crap, even though you might be in special VIP status right now with that person, eventually that situation will devolve into an atmosphere where they're also treating you like crap. A lot of times for the same reason they treat their people like crap. Their parents, their children, relatives, friends. Eventually you will become just like everybody else because, let's face it, relationships become routine practices after a while, or they have routine practices within them. And it takes a lot of creativity sometimes to turn around and disrupt the routine a little bit with something exciting and something different, something fresh. But they do become routine, and when they become routine, the person that you're really dealing with in that relationship comes out, because it's the routine person that you're going to be faced with every single day when you get up. Not the special person that you're looking at right now, even though it would be great if every day that you wake up to the same person or better than the person that you met. Look at how people had conducted themselves in previous relationships. For example, if you get with somebody that had a bad habit of going back to terrible relationships, even though you as a partner might be great, you're wonderful, level-headed, emotionally strong, but your partner had a habit of always going back to people that hurt them and doing it repeatedly over and over again. Well, see, you need to pay attention to that. Even though you're not the bad guy in this situation, what that underscores is the fact that they have certain dysfunctions that they're dealing with. And eventually, those dysfunctions, one way or the other, are going to play a role in the quality of the relationship that you have with that person. If they have a bad habit of going back to people, it means that there's somewhere in their thinking there's a disconnect. Somewhere there's a major flaw that they haven't handled. And I guarantee you, like I said before, it's going to show up. Look at things like that. Look at how people treat their employment status. Look at how industrious they are, whether or not they are industrious, where they treat their jobs with a certain level of seriousness, whether they look at life as something that is with a certain level of sobriety. If they look at life honestly, they look at life as something that you can't play with. If they look at life that way, and I'm not saying they got to be serious all the time, because nobody wants somebody who's always stoic and always serious, because that's no fun. They got to be a fun person, but you also want to make sure that you're partnering with somebody who understands that life is not a joke, who understands that life's not a game. Even though we call it this game of life sometimes, we may euphemistically refer to it that way, but the reality is life is a very serious event. And you need a very serious-minded person to show respect for the sanctity of life and for all of the things that life has to offer, either as an individual or together. You want to pay attention. Knowledge over feelings. It's easy to get caught up in your feelings. I've done it myself many a day. For guys, they look at a woman and, let's just face it, we lust. She's got nice hips, nice breasts, pretty face, beautiful voice. That's what we pay attention to. We pay attention to women sexually, especially when we first meet them. That's as far as our knowledge of that person tends to go initially. And we always figure, well, we'll pick up the rest as we go along. And there's a certain level of truth to that. As time goes along, you are going to learn something about the person that you're with. But you want to take an objective approach to learning when it comes to dealing with other people. You want to be serious about what you're doing, because this is a serious event, this thing called a relationship and this thing called life. Okay? You want to recognize where there are flaws and be honest with yourself. Can I live with this situation? And that's another point I want to make. When you start in a relationship with somebody, you have to basically meet them where they are in life at that time. And the knowledge that you gain from that is going to let you know whether or not this is somebody that you think that you got a future with or that you don't. So often, we kid ourselves into thinking, well, gosh, we can make this work. We can make this work. And what that entails a lot of times is, okay, I know that they have this situation going on that's not palatable for me or a good relationship period, or this situation or this situation. But if they stop just doing this and doing that, no. You have to meet people where they are. Wherever they are, that's what you're dealing with, and that's how you formulate a decision whether or not you're going to be with this person over the long haul. Okay? It's one thing to involve yourself with, well, it's one thing to recognize that somebody has potential, but it's another thing to hang your star in potential. Hanging your star in potential, it's kind of like hanging your star on on the mast of a ship before you even know if the ship is seaworthy or not. You can launch that thing and it goes right out in the water and sinks. Okay? Women, on the other hand, when it comes to their feelings, they get caught up in their feelings too, instead of looking at the knowledge that they need to gain from about this particular guy they're with. They listen to what the guy does. He seems romantic. He did all these wonderful things. But separate and apart from that, who is he really? Who is this guy really? Anybody, I can tell you one thing. I dated this girl one time, and I got this idea from a TV show. I can't remember where it was. And it was Valentine's Day, and I put these rose petals on the stairs leading upstairs to my bedroom. And on each step, I put these candles, and and I cooked her dinner for Valentine's Day. And she thought that was the most romantic thing in the world. Now, as great a picture as that presents itself as great a scene as that was, what if I was a complete jerk otherwise? You see, there's a separation between the two. One doesn't have anything to do with the other. You need the knowledge. You need the knowledge. Knowledge is king. Feelings are important, but knowledge is king. That's how you operate. All right? Knowledge over feelings all day long and for the rest of your life, as long as you're with that person. I don't care if you're with them a year. I don't care if you're with them 50 years. Knowledge over feelings. And eventually what you're going to find out is that what you learn about the person over time, if it's the right type of relationship, will actually enhance the feelings that you have for them. Your feelings for them will become stronger based on what you know. Or your feelings for them will become stronger in a negative sense and push you away from them based on what you know. Well, my name is Dave Thomas III. This is Faked Out by Love. Be sure to like this video. Be sure to share this video and share the knowledge and the love with all of your friends and families, and even complete strangers. Don't be scared to do that. Send it off to a complete stranger. Also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel just yet, please do. I would love to have your support. I really would. Also, hit the notification bell right next to the subscription button. That way, each and every time that I upload a fresh video, y'all are going to be the very first ones to find out. Well, I hope y'all having a great day today. It's rainy and dreary where I am, but I'm looking forward to hearing from you and seeing you again.